We have to remember always is that extinctions are forever. And also we lose in species. We're impoverishing our own life as well as the future generations. And that is something that is well known on islands and island ecosystem, how bad the extinction has wiped out, the flora and fauna of some of those islands. Galapagos, in that sense, is the only oceanic archipelago that still maintains 95% of the original biodiversity. So here is a golden opportunity for the whole world to save this huge amount of treasures, if you want, and learn those lessons for future generations.
Islands are a microcosm of the world, and so if you look at islands, you can actually see what's going on in the world, because you reach limits much more quickly in islands. Social issues are much more exacerbated in islands. Ecological impacts tend to be much more exacerbated as well. And there are a set of characteristics about islands that make them quite fascinating places to try and understand the interactions between the social and the ecological. If you could do that better, and actually come up with solutions to those problems, I think that there's a lot of lessons learned that can be transferred to other places.
Eric Miller and I were having a conversation about what we could do that was collaborative and that actually involved the work that my group was already doing in the Galapagos Islands. And he said, in a list of possibilities, he said, well, we could do something with looking for diseases there, and then we went on and discussed several things down the list. And I said, can we go back to that disease thing? And what we didn't know was at that exact time, people here in the station and the park were discussing the problem of the arrival of new diseases. And so they were primed to hear that we were interested in doing this, and themselves had just recognized it as a huge problem.
I think one of the most wonderful things about the program is that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. The field biologists bring expertise to the program, the veterinarians, and it's the cooperation, and then the cooperation with the people in the Galapagos that really make this work, and I think make it a unique program.
I think a lot of people do look at the Galapagos as it's been kind of an iconic place, as we know, for many years. But having the Galapagos name, I think it is important that things are done right here and that we're a part of doing them right, because you kind of are maybe looked at more closely than you would be in some other corners of the world. It's really been fantastic to see how people have just responded and said, we're not just going to talk about acting immediately, we're going to act immediately. And that's from the government down to volunteers that we have helping fill up bottles of equipment so we can put our samples in. So it's been a real group effort in a very short time.
The good news is that the collaboration is so tight that we discover this, we come here, we talk to them, and they immediately come up with an action plan and are on top of it and sending people out there. And so this collaboration has really worked beautifully.
In a lot of ways, the Galapagos is the best of both worlds. They combine a national park with great scientific management. They combine a wonderful place to visit with real restrictions on ecotourism. They have managed to develop their economy without taking this fabulous beachfront and building hundreds of condominiums on it.
We have, I would say, the good luck to have wonderful partners and strategic alliances that are fundamental for the work that we do here. And one of those, the fundamental and extremely important alliances that we have is with the University of St. Louis, Missouri, and the St. Louis Zoo, with Dr. Patty Parker and her work here, for example.
Looking at how sustainability is created so that you can keep places like Galapagos, which continue to change people's lives. Because I think the world would be a lot sorrier of a place if it didn't have a place like Galapagos.
My personal dream in this sense is that I want to give that opportunity to future generations, that they could get to know Galapagos as we have known Galapagos, and get to love Galapagos the way we love Galapagos, and that hopefully the world will get some lessons out of a place like Galapagos. If we cannot save Galapagos, then what are we doing here in this world?